Sam have just moved to Santa Carla, California. They're about to discover its secret.
Notice anything unusual about Santa Carla yet?
No. It's a pretty cool place. If you're a Martian.
Or a vampire.
When you're a stranger, when you're alone, when you scream.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome to Spitball Cinema. I'm Scott.
I'm David.
This is episode 2. Today we're going to be doing of season 3.
Yeah.
We're going to be doing The Lost Boys, 1987.
One of our favorite horror movies, Halloween movies. Actually, one of my favorite movies of all
Yeah,
time.
very good movie. Shane is off on assignment today,
Yes, and he's a big fan of the movie.
and he's actually the one who picked The Lost Boys.
He's on a special
to do.
assignment.
So he went on special assignment. Either that or David from The Lost Boys kidnapped him or something. We
Or
don't
bet him on the skull.
Yeah, we don't know at this point in this time. Maybe the Frog Brothers got a hold of him.
I would put my money on the Frog Brothers.
Yeah. So what are you talking about? The Lost Boys.
Yeah.
What do you think, Dave, when you think of the Lost Boys? What's the first thing you think of?
I was excited when I saw the trailer for it back in the day. I wanted to see it so bad. And bought the cassette tape of the soundtrack, and I loved the soundtrack.
Yeah, the soundtrack's awesome.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Every song on there is just perfect. And I wanted to be in the gang of the Frog Brothers and Corey Haim's character.
Really?
Yeah, I wanted to, yeah. I think probably you or my brother wanted to be in the vampire gang because of Jamie.
No,
Hurts there a little
yeah.
bit. What was her name? Star?
Star.
Star.
Yeah.
Star.
See, that's when I think of the Lost Boys. That's what I think of is
Star.
Jamie Gertz. I had such a crush on her.
Oh, thank you.
I was 17 years old when this movie came out,
Dude.
and to me, Jamie Gertz was my ideal woman.
Yeah.
That is the girl that I always fantasized about finding a girl like her. And I still do.
And it was, you're right, because when you first see her in the movie,
you just are drawn to her. I mean, just like Michael, when he first sees her, every red-blooded young American male had the same reaction that Michael had.
Or
Jason
even
Pat-
girls too. I mean,
Well,
she
well-
just had a beauty and an elegance and a
yeah.
grace to her, and you were like,
Well, the camera loves her.
oh my gosh,
There's a few actresses that are like that, like Margot Robbie.
Yeah, she does that.
Gal Gadot's another one
Yeah.
the camera you're drawn to her.
Oh my god, yeah.
And that scene with her walking
Zoe
in,
Kravitz,
which
we'll be talking about later.
That scene when she's walking through that crowd, that you're just like, whoa, who is this girl? So to me, when I think of the Lost Boys, that's what I think of first thing.
Well, let's give a little history of what we kind of looked up about the whole premise of the movie, how it came from.
It kind of started. It was supposed to be kind of a vampire flick, more along the lines of in a Goonies style.
Yeah, a kids movie.
A kids movie. They were supposed to originally the characters were supposed to be like 11 and 12 years old, and it had more campy dialogue like Goonies style. See, Richard Donner was supposed to be the director of this.
Yeah, because he directed the Goonies.
But he directed the Goonies, which is how Corey Feldman came to be cast in the Lost
one of the Frog
Brothers. One of the Frog Brothers. But Richard Donner, at the same time, he had been on the project so long, and like he said, if he's on a project very long and nothing's going on with it, he kind of loses interest. So he started focusing on Lethal Weapon, which was he went to Lethal Weapon.
They greenlit Lethal Weapon,
and so he's kind of latched onto that.
But he still liked the whole premise.
Yeah, he still liked the whole premise of the Lost
Boys. And so he stuck around as an executive producer, right?
Yeah, executive producer. Yeah.
And then we learned that he asked his friend Joel Schumacher to
Hmm.
maybe if he'd be interested in it, and he got the studio head to meet with Joel Schumacher. Joel Schumacher, who just came off St. Elmo's Fire,
Yeah.
also did DC Cab,
He said he had only done like
three
three
movies or
films.
something like that.
I
Yeah,
think the before DC Cab, he did the Incredible Shrinking Woman.
he did The Incredible
Yeah.
Shrinking
So
Woman
so he
with
had
Lily Tomlin.
yeah, so he had did these three movies, and he
Great movies, but odd.
and yeah, very different choices,
Yeah.
very different
I
movies,
mean,
you know.
incredibly Shrinking Woman to
And
St. Elmo's
and he
Fire.
said he was meeting with the Joel Schumacher said he was meeting with the studio head, and he was like, "So you want me to do a kids vampire movie?"
Yeah,
And he said he was kind of arrogant and stuff to be talking to
yeah.
a studio head like that. And the guy said he said he could tell he got kind of angry, and he said, "Well, at least read the
Do
script."
me the favor and when they do
Yeah,
that, they actually I think they get paid to read and
yeah,
give.
yeah. And he said, "Okay, I'll read it." And he said he kind of was dismissing it, but then he went for a run and he kept thinking about it. And he said, "The only way that I'm going to really do this is if we can make it sexy, make the characters older, like
Young adults,
young adults, teenagers, late teens, and make it a more adult theme and not so
making a
much
horror movie,
make a horror." Yeah,
not in a kids movie, a
right.
horror
He
movie,
wanted to make a kind of a horror, a
but
regular
sexy and all that
sexy,
stuff,
and he thought the audience would be more into that,
right.
you know. And it was to his
Well, he said it's because in that age, that's the perfect age of learning who you might be or
right,
where you're going in life, how important family is, even at that young age.
right, right. You're kind of you're growing into adulthood. I mean, you're starting to learn about
Oh yeah,
it's kind of you're in the transformation. You're going from kid to adult.
yep,
And it's very formulated right there, very influenced by things. I mean, 17 years old, you're kind of like, man, what am I going to do in my life? I'm a kid, but I'm starting.
yeah. Should I go into the armed
Yeah,
forces? Should I go work at for a
I tell
casino?
you what, if I would seen Jamie Gertz, I wouldn't be going anywhere.
Yeah.
I'd have just been chasing her. Is what
Oh
I'd
my
be.
gosh. Yeah. Now she's like one of the richest
Yeah,
people in
she's
the world.
billionaire,
Yeah.
billionaire.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah,
But good,
yeah,
good job
yeah,
there, Jamie. We love you.
yeah. I guess there's no hope for me now.
She might take you on for a pity
Yeah,
case.
yeah. Charity case.
Just let me be your brother Rupert.
Yeah.
Oklahoma, Oklahoma, Oklahoma. Um, but yeah, so
Yeah.
the studio guy goes, well, this must. He knew that's Joel caught something because Joel's, like you said, he couldn't keep his head out of it
Out of
after
it. Yeah.
reading basically the kind of the script he had. So he brought in a guy who had previously wrote The Dead Zone,
Right.
and he also went on to write Indiana Jones and the Last
Last Crusade.
Crusade. So he got a good writer to kind of make it a little bit more scary and more adult, and but still have that Goonie kind of element into it because the Goonies made a ton of money, and so they kind of wanted to like transfer that magic into this movie. Um, but the studio guy goes, um, well, we'll let you do that, but you got to take kind of a not so they didn't give him a lot of money to make the movie. Let's just
Right.
say
Right.
because, for instance, like the opening shot when you see the camera flying into the boardwalk, that's supposed to represent the Lost Boys, the Kiefer and all, and
Yeah.
Alex Winter,
Flying.
all them
They were gonna
flying.
they were gonna show them if they would have had more money, they would have been able to
They
show them.
said that they would have been
Yeah.
able to twilight it and show you flying vampires.
Which probably would have. I think it would have lessened the movie. I
Yes,
think that.
thank you for saying that.
Yeah. I think by not showing, just kind of like Jaws, by
It
not
makes you more
it makes
nervous.
you more nervous. It makes you more wondering, you know,
I mean,
what is
just
this?
that scene with the fat security guard, or I think he was just a security
Security
guard,
guard.
when he was going to his car and there's nobody around, no cars around, no people around, it's just him going to his
Yeah, and
car,
the camera's coming in at
and you
him.
hear it too.
Yeah, you kind of hear.
You hear
almost like a laugh,
like a little
a
bit of,
giggle, like a yeah,
oh my
like a
gosh.
got you now.
And it freaked you out as a viewer. And you're like,
Yeah, it's
this
like,
isn't
what
just
the hell?
like a regular kids movie or something like that.
Right, right.
So yeah, you're right. Showing less does have more of a better effect in
Well,
the
well,
end.
and they said the for the effects that they needed, they saved all the money for
The last
towards
scene,
the endings
right?
where they could do the flying scenes and stuff. Where so they used all the money, most of the money that they saved it for the ending, so they could do more of the
Thank God they
effects.
did.
Yeah, yeah. I think that made the film scarier. You
Oh
know,
my God,
scarier
yeah.
because when you first really see, you don't really see Kiefer and them turn into vampires until
That
the
night,
beach scene.
yeah, when they
It,
said to Michael, if you want to see Star again,
yeah, you'll come with us, and they
come with
kind of
us.
reveal who they actually are and what they've done to Michael.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and that's when the first time you see these guys really vamp out,
And you were,
and it is
it's
spooky.
spooky. Yeah.
Yeah,
Those guys weren't messing, no
yeah.
joke. I mean,
And the thing about Kiefer Sutherland too, from the first moment that
oh, that you see him.
you see Kiefer Sutherland on the boardwalk, you know, just like his dad Donald Sutherland, you're drawn to that guy.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they just have this screen presence about them. You know, not every actor has that, but these guys, when they're on screen, the audience, you're just like Jamie Gertz, but not in that way. But
Right, right.
I guess maybe to some female
Well,
characters,
yeah.
maybe. But
Yeah.
you're just there's something about this guy that you know that is a little different.
Yeah.
There's something
He,
off.
there's something
There,
off about
yeah,
him, but you're still drawn to him.
yeah. Every time they're on the screen, you're just looking.
Even
e-
Alex Winter,
Yeah,
and the other two guys, who were male models at the
yeah.
time. That's why they didn't really have many in the
But
movie.
you know
But
what? They're Kiefer still stands out
oh yeah,
in more than they I
it's his
think than
eyes.
they do. And there's what you know, I think it's an attitude,
Well, that too.
something
Yeah.
about the way they carry themselves. You know, when he's walking on that not merry-go-round, but uh, what is it? Well, I guess it isn't kind of a
Well, yeah.
merry-go-round. Uh, uh,
Or the carousel. Yeah.
carousel.
My
I'm
bad.
sorry. When he's walking on that thing, and the way he's walking, and the way he's got this cockiness about him, this or maybe confidence, I should say. The
I
way
think it was both.
you know, and the way he's looking around as he's almost going through there like a cat. You know
Oh
what I
my
mean?
gosh, yeah.
Like
Or a hungry man at
like
a
a
buffet.
predator,
Yeah.
like a
Yeah. Am
lion.
I going chicken first or
Yeah,
steak, baby?
yeah, yeah, yeah. He's on the hunt,
Oh yeah.
and
And you can tell it.
he's not just a follower. He's leading the pack. He's the leader of this group of
Oh my
lost
gosh,
boys.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and
Because what I don't know if you've ever heard or read, weren't they supposed to be like hundreds of years of old already by then?
I think so. Well,
That's why I think it was so comfortable because
right.
they knew how to get away with it.
Yeah, they've been around for a while, even though they look like teenagers. I don't think they have been just turned recently.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
and so they've got this confidence, arrogance. You know, we're the cock of the walk. You know, we're in charge here. And Keith is like, you follow me. I'm the one.
Yeah,
You know,
I'll lead you
we're gonna go get
to the
our food.
pleasures. Yeah, we'll
You
get
know,
food
we're
and
hungry.
women.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
and
definitely.
yeah. So I mean, there's just something about him, and then he's got this thing with Star Jamie Gertz, this power over her because she notices Michael in the crowd, and he's kind of following her, played by Jason Patrick, uh, who he's following
By the
her.
way, tell people who Jason
Well,
Patrick is.
Jason Patrick is
The well,
actor, but his dad, Jason Patrick's dad,
yeah,
was in The Exorcist. He played the young priest in The Exorcist, the first Exorcist,
Father
and the
Karras.
third. Jason Miller. Is it Jason Miller?
Yeah,
Jason.
Jason Miller,
Yeah, and who uh, and Jason Patrick's
grandfather.
grandfather is the great Jackie Gleason.
Yeah.
I mean, on maternal grandfather
To
is
the
Jackie
moon,
Gleason.
Alice. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so this guy's got some acting chops in his veins.
Yeah.
Some
But
blood,
the only
that
movie that
blood, no, so to speak.
well, the only movie he'd been in before that was a movie called Solar Babies,
Solar babies.
which is one of those movies that it was on cable all the time, if you
Hmm.
guys remember that. Um, and then he was in a couple things on TV, but
And he did some plays.
yeah, he
That's
did
where he
some
met Jamie
Jimmy
Gertz.
Gertz. Yeah, they did a play before they both got cast in it.
Yeah,
But Joel Schumacher he wanted Patrick. He
yeah,
said that is Michael.
yeah.
That is
Nobody had that kind of that looks like that
yeah.
and is young like that and has the acting chops like he does. He's perfect for Michael. And Jason Patrick didn't want to do it
No, he
because he
didn't.
thought it would be a horror exploitation film. And
Yeah,
he was kind of even though he was young, he was really serious about what he wanted to do,
do yeah.
acting and stuff.
Rightfully so. That's how he did it.
Which is I don't know. To me, I guess because we're not around there and stuff, I'd been like jumping. Yeah, yeah. You want me for a starring part in a movie?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Richard Donner
yeah.
producing. You better believe I'm going to do it.
Oh my gosh.
But out there, I guess they're a little bit more, more
But so I think Joel went after him, what,
for
6 weeks?
every day,
They
almost
met
talking to his
for a lunch with him and his agent.
and talked him into it.
In the last meeting, he said, "Look, I'll tell you what, you can help shape not only your character, but if you have some ideas um, for the script or the story, I'm open ears."
Yeah.
Because he had just turned 18,
Hmm.
and he's like, "This will be even better having input."
Which is unbelievable. You would give an 18-year-old that kind of
Maybe he wanted to
creative
see
control.
if that grandpa creation would have
Yeah,
came out,
could
or
be.
Jason Miller.
Yeah, it
So
could be. I
could
don't know.
be.
I don't. To me, if I was the director and this dude was holding it, I'd have felt, hey,
Yeah,
I'll find somebody
let's go
else.
get Crispin
But
Glover or
for
something.
some reason, he wanted him. He really
Really wanted
he
him.
couldn't see
Anybody
anybody
else
else
as Michael.
in that part.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so that's how Jason got into the movie.
yeah.
And then Jason, I guess Schumacher was trying to cast Star. How do they describe it?
Is a little pixie like short hair. See, we
Blonde
have to
hair.
probably have to go back a little bit. The writers are
Oh yeah,
the Lost Boys comes from the tale in Peter Pan. The boys that were in the Peter Pan
yeah.
were the Lost Boys. They were always young, forever
They
young.
could fly.
They could fly, and so they kind of always visioned them that maybe they were vampires. For some reason they had this vision of maybe because they live forever and
Yeah,
blah blah blah. So so I think, and I could be wrong on this, but I think Schumacher when he was thinking of Star, he was thinking of a Tinkerbell type
yeah,
female with the short blonde
yeah.
hair
He wanted
who
short
was living
blonde.
on the beach, kind of a pixie looking. And I really believe that's where he was
I think you're
going.
right. And it would have been cool.
Yeah, and I can see why
Maybe
he would think that.
maybe like a who would you think would be good back then?
Oh God, I don't know.
What was that girl in Fast Times at Ridgemont High?
Oh, Jennifer Jason
Jennifer
Leigh.
Jason
Yeah, or
Lee,
somebody like
or
that.
maybe or even the other girl in that movie, Phoebe Cates. She could have
Yeah, but
dyed
she
her
had the
hair.
black hair though.
True, that's true.
But he was thinking of a little blondish type.
But
But
tell them why they went towards Miss Jamie Gertz.
well, Jason Patrick had been in a play with her, and he said, "Hey, you should. This girl, she's really beautiful," and he
And
was kind of resistant to it at
well, he
first.
said that she has that sexy gypsy like
Yeah, that
look to
gypsy
her,
like look, that
which
quality
fit in perfectly with the
with the Lost
Lost
Boys,
Boys. Yeah,
exactly. And so when Schumacher had her come in, and then he said
that was
he'd be
it.
he's eternally grateful to Jason Patrick
Yeah.
into suggesting her because he said as soon as he saw her, he was like,
He
okay,
goes, I can, and then they did like a couple, like when they read lines between, he goes, it
yeah,
just
it was just
perfect,
her.
perfect.
She was Star, you know.
Yeah, I mean, and it's true. I
And
mean, you
I'm
could see
grateful
it.
to Jason Patrick too
Oh
for
yeah, we aren't grateful for that one line. Michael,
Michael. I
I
like
like Michael.
Michael.
Come
I
on.
like Michael.
Maybe she never had a Michael
It's
because she could have been a vampire for a couple hundred years or something.
Uh,
I never
yeah,
had the Michael for
Michael,
dinner.
and night Michael. I was like, wow.
Nyang, nyang, nyang.
And then you had Diane Wiest, who was
Oh,
cast as the mother.
who just came off.
Yeah, she had a won an Oscar for Hannah and Her Sisters,
Yeah,
and they didn't really think they would be able to get her,
no.
but she was happy to do it.
Yeah, she said she liked the whole family
Yeah,
element.
the family element to the story, and the thing that's kind of odd, and I was talking to Dave about this earlier, is and I think I'm right on this. This is just my
I think you're
assumption,
right.
but her character's name is Lucy, which, if you know anything about the Dracula films in the book, the character of Lucy was in the original Dracula. And almost
She was the character that
Mina and Lucy were always in the Dracula
Dracula
movie.
stories.
And I think they use the Lucy name as kind of a throwback
Smart.
to Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Well, like an ode to him and stuff like
Bram
that.
Bram Bram
Bram Stoker.
Bram Stoker.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
And
so I think I'm right on that.
but I'm glad that she said yes because she is so great in that
Oh
movie.
yeah,
I
very good.
mean, I could see my mom acting and talking the way that she did it in
Hmm.
certain stuff. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
uh,
Well, who hasn't been in the car with their parents
yeah,
and on the radio comes a song and they start singing this old song and
yeah.
you're just like, what the hell?
Oh yeah.
You know, that embarrasses the kids and stuff, and they're like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, you can kind of relate to that, you know.
Absolutely, man.
And then one thing that we haven't really talked about is the town of Santa Cruz.
Well, oh,
Is
because
it
it was
Santa Cruz?
Santa Cruz. It was filmed the boardwalk.
Yeah, it was filmed with real people,
Yeah,
and
all those crazy characters you see in the background during
are
the
actually
opening.
is actually real people. They're not extra. They're actually the town of Santa Cruz, and Schumacher just was out there guerrilla filmmaking
Yeah,
those shots. I think
yeah,
you
and he
know
picked up some wild stuff.
some wild stuff. They said even in between takes they would have fights and stuff
Yeah.
going on, and so and then he uses Jim Morrison. People
Oh,
are strange. Now I don't think Jim Morrison was singing
no,
that.
it was done by a band called Echo and the
Yeah,
Bunnymen. And
yeah.
what was cool about that song on the soundtrack was Ray Manzarek, the keyboardist for the Doors, plays
Plays
keyboards
keyboard for him.
on that song for them.
Yeah,
And Schumacher and Donner both thinks that these guys would be huge, very influenced by Jim Morrison and the
and the Doors.
Doors, because in the cave you see a big portrait of the
Jim,
shirtless Jim Morrison.
which goes to show you that these guys are probably older
Well, yeah.
than. I mean, this is set in 1987, so these guys have with the Jim Morrison. They're probably older and have come up through the years, and then they,
So
for at
awesome.
least the 60s.
And
You know.
that of all the covers you heard, that's one of the best ones up
Oh
there.
yeah,
I mean, it's just
and it goes with the town as
oh
they're
my
playing it. They're
gosh, yeah.
cutting to these different shots of all these people. And you know what? One scene I always wondered about. There's a scene at the very beginning. Vine Weiss looks at Corey Haim and she says, "Oh, go get them and tell them to
Give
go
them something to
get
eat,
some meat." I wonder,
dude.
do you think that was
I had to have
they were
been.
really
It had to have
going through the
been.
dumpster there and that wasn't set up? Because it looked like it was almost a real thing.
If anybody has watched or heard watched the movie with the commentary and knows if that's true, if it is, that just makes me even like Diane Wiest even more.
Yeah, it just
And
and they
Joel
shot
Schumacher was brilliant for leaving that
because I think
in
that
the
was real
movie.
good,
It had to have been.
because and it was like wow, that's something
And
else.
good on Corey Haim for staying in
Hmm.
character.
And this was also the first film that you have the two Corys
That's
show
right.
up, Corey Haim and Corey Feldman.
Feldman, yeah.
Uh,
Now you said Corey Feldman, because he had just got off doing
the Goon,
Gremlins and
the Goonies,
Goonies. Sorry,
Goonies,
Goonies, with Richard Donner,
right?
and he got along with Corey, and even though he's a little odd today, I still love him, and
Yeah,
I think like License to Drive is one of my favorite movies growing up, and
right.
um, so both of them they could act. It was just after License to Drive, they kind of like got crappy script after that.
Right.
But yeah, so Corey Haim was new, and uh, he came off of Lucas, right? Because he already made Lucas by
Yeah,
then.
he'd already made Lucas by then, I think.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think you're right. And so, um, Joel Schumacher loved him in Lucas, and maybe you know, uh,
Well, Donner had he's the one that kind of,
casted him, right?
well, yeah, he
Or he
said, "Hey,
brought
I've got
movie.
this movie I think you'd be perfect for."
Yeah, here,
'Cause
act with this
yeah,
guy
because
because you'll get along. You both are named Corey.
yeah. And which I was talking to Dave about this earlier. I think if this would have been cast later on when the two Coreys, that they would have put the two Coreys as the Frog brothers, probably.
I think that would have
I
worked.
think that would have worked instead of Corey Haim being Sam. I think they would have had the two Coreys be the Frog brothers. I'm not sure about that, but even though Sam's the bigger part,
Yeah.
but this was
So
a this
someone would have to be recasted as Sam.
right.
Who would you think would have been
Oh gosh,
Anthony Michael Hall?
yeah. I mean, he was big and he was hot during
And he
that
was
time,
around still
and
around
he's
that
kind of
age.
that smart alecky type
Oh, he perfect.
kid,
Hell yeah.
And when we were watching this, we were talking about how 80s the dress is, the
Oh
dress
man, I
code.
loved his clothes.
Yeah, the clothes in this,
Yeah.
the haircut, the styles, was
Those long cheap
very much
jackets and stuff.
and
Yeah.
even Kiefer Sutherland's hair is the Billy Idol
Yeah, he
style,
said that he styled it after that, and
after
he even went to the point of not just bleaching it.
almost white.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
so blonde it was
it
white.
was white, and he was worried at first, thinking that he kind of looked maybe a little ridiculous with being white, but he goes, it worked of how they shot it and how they lit it,
Hmm.
how they yeah, and I think it worked.
Oh yeah,
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 I mean,
definitely.
so and then we have the second frog brother. Um,
Yeah,
was it?
Jamie Newlander.
That's it. I was thinking of
Yeah, or
Jason.
Jameson. I'm sorry, Jameson Newlander, not Jamie.
Is it? Oh my
It's
God.
Jameson Newlander.
And so I guess during a read or something, both Corey Feldman and the other kid, Jameson, right?
Hmm.
They weren't delivering their lines the way that Schumacher felt that they should deliver them. And
Right.
he's like, hey,
They
do
were
me a favor.
they were
Too talking normal.
passive,
Yeah, too passive. Yeah.
and he wanted more of a butch type,
Wanted a
strong
drill
character,
sergeant kind
right,
of military
tough
tough.
guy. Hmm.
So he told them to go rent a whole bunch of Stallone
And Chuck
and
Norris
Chuck
movies,
Norris movies. So
which were the big
they
movies
were
in the
big back
80s.
then.
I
Yeah,
mean,
mission and action, and
everybody went to see
it's called
Chuck Norris.
let's call the Cobra.
Yeah, Call the Cobra.
So they got their scissors and
Probably
pizza
watched a little
ready.
bit of Arnie too, I would
Oh hell
imagine.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, those three guys in the '80s, that was the tough. I mean, you went to see them kick the shit
It
out of
was an
people.
event.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't to get no message or
Hmm.
to watch really
It
great
was to be
acting. It was
popcorn
just
fun.
popcorn fun, watching them kick the hell out of people.
Don't
You know?
think and try to like, well, that wouldn't happen in real life. It's
Yeah.
a movie.
Yeah. I mean, that's what you did. And so when they came back, they delivered this.
They nailed it.
They had the part down,
They nailed it.
and all they were doing was imitating Stone and
And Chuck
Norris.
Norris, yeah.
Yeah. So it's really it's so funny how these movies come together, and how they do uh, they end up becoming what it is.
Well, I mean, even that little kid that uh
The one, I think his name was Chance in the movie.
is that
Is
it?
that, or is
Chance?
that his name in real life? I can't remember.
Um
Remember,
yeah, it was Laddie was his name.
Laddie.
And
Yeah,
his name was Chance Michael Corbett.
yeah, Laddie. Remember, remember they're gonna stake him towards when he pops
I
out and
remember
when he
that.
turns, and they're gonna
Oh,
kill him. She goes, "Don't go, Jamie."
dude, the way she delivers that,
Yeah,
because she's like crying,
it's just a
screaming at
little
him.
boy,
And then they're all kind of like step back and go, yeah.
Laddie. I like Laddie. Stop
She couldn't help
it,
it.
boy.
But he
Yeah,
was cool in the movie
yeah, he was a
too.
cool little sucker.
I mean,
That
shit.
one line, they're like, they're like an Attack of Eddie Munster, you know. They had some cool one-liners,
They
you know.
really did. It just it
Corey
brought.
Haim, Death by Stereo, and some one-liners, you know, and it just was this was a popcorn movie too. It was just
It
fun.
really was because it came out that summer of that year, right?
Yeah, 87. Yeah. So everybody was just like, I remember when I don't know if I saw it in
I
the
couldn't,
theater.
I couldn't, I wasn't allowed to see our movies at the
I
theater
probably
at that
saw it on
time.
cable.
I saw
They,
it because my sister Karen, me and my brother, begged her and bugged her to death of
right.
going to
I
go
mean,
rent it.
I
And she
might,
did. She wanted the first day it came out, we rented it, and then me and my brother watched it, and we ran down the street and told my friend Peter and Tom,
yeah.
"You guys gotta come up and watch this movie." Or I think we might have watched it at Peter's house, but I mean, and then it just word got around because I
Yeah.
guess when the movie came out, it didn't do that well at the box
Yeah.
office,
Well,
and it was panned by critics.
yeah.
Critics just thought it was just a bunch of stylized
Just a bunch
nothingness
of kids and just
who are
what
vampires.
is this?
Yeah, and how dare you throw that graphic violence in with little
Yeah.
kids and
And which they actually toned down the violence in the
yeah,
movie. They actually
yeah,
took
the original version was a lot
yeah.
darker and lot more
Yeah,
violent.
Kiefer Sutherland talks about
Yeah,
that.
because there's the scene where he
He
goes
bites this bald-headed guy
like
on the
they
head.
all him and his vampire clan like get into a very graphic battle with those people on the
Yeah,
beach,
very graphic, like eating of
heads and
yeah.
brains
Hmm.
and he says that they just cut around the real graphic gory shots and gave you just
Little snippets
little
of it,
second snippets and you
which
got the
which kind
idea.
of made it
I
more
liked
scary.
it, I
I
think it
think
was better doing it
yeah, I
that
do
way.
too. Because it made it more because then you use your imagination. You see like the initial bite, and then you can only imagine what's going on.
Oh
You
my
know,
god, you're
you
like
know,
these guys aren't no joke.
because when they vamp out, showing Michael, and then Michael starts to turn, and then when they're done with these guys, when they walk up on the hill, they've changed back into just normal,
But they
you
got
know,
all that blood
because they
on
had
them
all
and
the blood
stuff.
on them and
Yeah,
stuff, and they
said
just,
this is what who you are. You
this is
gotta
what
feed
you got to feed, Michael.
or you're gonna die.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh my gosh,
and
so good.
when they first remember when they first turn Michael when they go into the cave where Jim Morrison's picture, and he has him drink out of that.
Out of that bottle.
Well, first he
Yeah.
says, "You hungry? Here's some rice."
Yeah.
And he goes, "How are those maggots?" And Jason Patrick says, "What?" He goes, "Maggots, Michael. You're eating maggots. How are they?"
Perfect.
And he looks down. He says, "Right." He looks down and he sees maggot and he spits.
Dude,
And it,
everybody was
and
like,
everybody's like, "Oh!" And then when he
God.
looks down, it's rice again. And clearly they're messing with him.
Because you
You know,
want some of
huh?
my noodles and then
Yeah,
end up being
yeah,
a bunch of
worms.
worms.
And then he goes, "What do you mean they're worms?" And he said, "They're just noodles, Michael," which they were worms.
Yeah, oh
You
my
know,
gosh, yeah.
they're
Because I
just
think he knew something's kind of off
yeah.
with
So
him.
he's playing using his powers to play with Michael. He almost like he's teasing him back and forth.
Yeah,
You know, and then he brings out this like looks like see that's why I think he's older too. He brings out that bottle with the blood in it,
yeah.
and that bottle looks
It's like
ancient.
something like pirate treasure.
Yeah, it looks like it's been around for a long, long
Yeah.
time. Like this is like some kind. I always envisioned that like this is some kind of ancient blood.
Oh, yeah.
Because you notice when Kiefer Sutherland when he takes a drink of that,
He kind of does
he kind of
like a,
stops and he like almost like when you take a drink of whiskey, you're like you do this
oh,
like
you cringe. Yeah.
yeah,
You're
you
like,
do this
ugh.
little, and he did that so perfect. He like turns his head to the side,
Maybe
kind of,
it's like a drug to him,
kind
you
of
think?
shakes his head. Well, it's so
Kind of
pure.
like what they did in True Blood.
Well, it's so pure. It's probably an
Concentrated or
old
something.
old vampire blood or something from the old
It's
like
a
Dracula,
collection.
almost like Dracula's
Yeah,
blood.
maybe it's a collection of very famous vampires
Yeah,
or something like
and
that.
so then he says, "Michael, come on, Michael, drink. Become one of us." And Star telling him, "You don't have to."
She warns
Yeah,
them
she wants.
too.
She says that blood, it's blood, and he goes, "Yeah, right." And he drinks it,
And then that
and then
music
they're like,
starts.
"Michael,
Yeah.
Michael," and they're clapping, "Michael," and
And then
they're
this,
playing that music, and stuff. It's great scene, great
it
little scene.
really is, man. And then they go straight to that infamous bridge
Oh,
scene.
the bridge scene, that which was just
Brilliant.
brilliantly done.
Oh my
Yeah,
God. If you get the 4K disc of it, the shot of it, it's not the old poster.
Hmm.
It's a shot of the bridge and them hanging off of it. It's
Really?
kind of like you're looking from afar of them hanging
Yeah.
off the
It
bridge.
became an
Really?
iconic scene,
Oh my
a very
gosh, yeah.
iconic scene of them hanging on that.
Well, you were nervous because you're like,
Because remember, the train comes over
yeah,
while
and
they're
he
hanging,
had
and then,
and he couldn't hold on it
yeah, and
anymore.
he's like,
And he's
Jesus.
like, David,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Remember, they start dropping, and then he just can't hold on anymore, and he lets go, and he kind of is like falls, and he's screaming, and then he looks, and he's like floating, like he's flying,
it
And
was
then they do that
so good.
transformation where he just like falls into his bed,
Oh my gosh.
You're
And it's
just,
daylight,
and it's
like he
daylight.
hasn't had time to sleep.
Yeah, he's been out of it for like hours and didn't even know where he was.
Brilliantly shot, brilliantly acted,
Yeah,
brilliantly directed, brilliantly shot. I mean, just
yeah.
that, just,
And they
oh
said that
man.
I was watching that Alex Winter talk about that filming that, and he said it's the only fight him and Joel Schumacher ever got into because at that time, Schumacher didn't want them to say anything, and he said
Oh no
he,
shit.
he told him, he said, look, by this time we have been around, we don't have no lines, we don't have hardly any lines,
That's
and he
true.
said we wouldn't just not say anything and jump off there, we would say something. And he got into it with them over it and stuff. And Schumacher said he was ruining the scene. He envisioned this scene in the movie. This is why he wanted to do this movie because he always had this scene in vision, and you're ruining it for him. And they got it. And then they
Did
kind
they
of
do takes of
well,
it?
they kind of laughed about it.
Oh,
Then and he went on and let Alex have his line. Which it does make sense.
it
They
does.
they would say something. They wouldn't just all be quiet all the
And
time.
Alex has gone on to
Yeah,
direct movies and
yeah.
direct documentaries.
Well, he did the Bill and Ted with
Yeah,
with
with
Keanu
Keanu,
Reeves.
yeah, I think that was after
He's
this
kind of a
movie.
wild looking cat,
He
man.
really, he's got
He's
a
got a
distinctive look,
very distinct,
and it's fucking awesome,
yeah, a
man.
very distinct look
Beautiful
about
man.
him. Yeah, very. And in the interview I saw with him, he went back to that bridge. He said he hadn't been back there since they filmed it.
Oh, I gotta watch that. Is that
He
on YouTube?
yeah, I saw that
Okay.
guy that you like. I was telling you
Yeah,
about.
Sean Baker. Yeah,
Yeah,
or Parker Baker.
yeah,
Sorry.
and
Yeah.
it was really cool. He seemed like a really down to earth, really nice person.
Oh man, that's so
And he was
cool.
talking about it, and uh,
That's cool that he would do something like that.
yeah, well, it makes more sense that I mean, these guys aren't just mutes.
Yeah,
They would have some kind of personality.
because it would. I think it would have scared David off from hanging out with them
Yeah.
even
Oh,
more.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they had to say something.
Yeah. They're just not. They're not deaf lost or mute lost boys.
Because um did we watch something that Kiefer didn't have as many lines
He
as
didn't have that
before?
very many lines in the Lost Boys, but he would always have a line like towards the end of a scene that was
That was like a
significant.
cool,
It was a cool line, but it was his aura when he
yeah,
was on
his looks.
the scene,
Yeah.
when he would come into a scene. It was his presence that he would have a line towards the end. And so these guys didn't have hardly any lines, so they were always fighting to try to, hey, we don't have any lines here. We want to have a line,
Now, what I think this is probably one of the best parts of the movie, if not the best line, is when he gets his hand burned from the sun and then he pulls the hand back towards him and he's done. He lets out one last yell and then that one
one
tear,
single tear comes down
and
out
then
of his
he
eye.
smiles at the camera and goes,
Yeah,
"Didn't I?"
like he loved the pain.
Dude,
You
that
know,
is
like
so. I got
like
chills just thinking about it right now.
like it hurt, but I loved it, even
He's
though it
like,
made him
"Oh, we're
cry.
gonna get you
And then
guys so
we
bad."
found out the prosthetics they used, these contact lenses they
Yeah,
used
the vampire eyes were made out of
glass,
glass. Oh my
and it
god!
hurt their eyes a lot, and they were oftentimes to get the shot they were in pain,
Yeah,
and so maybe that tear came from the
the
pain
real pain of it.
of the
But
the
he sold it with just that single
yeah,
tear.
just that single tear
Like he
comes out.
maybe like builded all the water up in
Yeah,
one eye, and then he does it, and then he has
yeah, we're
that
talking about
smile, that creepy
that
smile
creepy smile, like
of
yeah,
like I'm gonna buy Corey,
I'm
I'm gonna get those two Corys and put
because
some
they
mustard
just
on them.
staked Alex Winter.
Yeah, they killed
Yeah,
him.
they
Yeah,
killed him. Remember, he's like, you're effing dead.
yeah.
Or no, you're dead meat. You're
That's
dead meat. And And when
And
they
then,
open their eyes and they all go crazy in there after he gets staked and stuff, oh man, that was a spooky scene.
oh my
Remember
God, yeah.
when they first see him and they're all hanging up by their feet
Oh my
up in that
God,
cave,
that was
and
so,
you're like, holy shit,
yeah.
you know? Yeah,
Oh
very
man,
intense scene.
great special effects on the feet too.
Yeah, yeah. It was just a great, great movie. I
It
mean,
really
it was so
was.
fun to watch.
Yeah.
And
If all right,
Bernard Hurt Hughes as the grandfather,
dude,
who was just a quirky uh,
character
character, and
actor,
then you had Edward Herman as Max,
he was really
which
good in it.
he was a kind of a strange dude in this because the whole time you're thinking, Diane Weiss goes to work for him in a video store, and he runs those. And Kiefer Sutherland
Oh, when they're in the
in the video says, "I told you not to come in
come here in
here
here, yeah.
anymore." And you're thinking, "Man, this dude's a hard ass." You don't play around. Well, then you
Well,
find,
I'm just sitting there going, what did they do
yeah, what did they do?
to get them 86 out of that
And
video store?
and then when you go back and you think about it, you're like, why are they listening to this guy? They
Yeah.
had a security guard that told them, "I told you not to come back on this boardwalk," and they went and killed the bastard out in the parking
Yeah.
lot because he threw him out of the
Yeah,
boardwalk.
and they're like, this
Eh,
guy just
This
sold
guy
us
just told him to get the hell out of his
Death Note.
store. I
Hell
told you
yeah.
not to come back here. But why are they listening to him?
Mhm.
And then you find out later,
Yeah.
spoiler
Spoilers.
alert, that this has been out since '87.
Yeah.
That he's the head vampire.
Head vampire.
And you don't realize that towards the end. And then when he vamps out, it's creepy.
Oh my
The way he
God.
looks, he says, "Hello, Lucy. I've always wanted you." He's
And he
talking.
sticks his
He
tongue
sticks
out.
his tongue out, and he's got this. You're just like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, he's got some
Max is a
scary.
damn vampire.
Yeah, he's got some scary vampire
Yeah.
makeup.
Because you think after they have this big epic fight scene with all the Lost
That was
Boys,
all over.
and then they're all getting killed and stuff. And then
I would figure that he'd be like, I'm gonna go call the police.
yeah, once Kiefer gets it, you're thinking, okay, everybody thinks he's the head vampire.
That's what I thought.
Yeah,
when
I did
first
too.
saw it. Yeah.
But he's not.
Who?
He's
Far
we
from
should have
it.
known that he's one of the Lost Boys.
My gosh.
There's
Yeah.
there's a head vampire to this whole thing.
My God,
You know,
dude.
you almost want. Hey, here's a stretch. Here's a stretch, and I just thought of this.
Go.
Maybe Edward Herman is actually Peter Pan. He's in charge of the Lost Boys.
Dude.
Maybe he's
Could
actually
be it.
he's actually like the Peter Pan character, head of the
Lost or the
Boys.
Captain Hook character.
No, Captain Hook wasn't part of the Lost Boys.
I know. I'm just saying he's
But you know what
in that world.
You know what I'm saying? Because they said Peter Pan, the Lost Boys, live forever,
See,
fly.
They should have had Robin Williams as that part.
They should have had his name should have been Peter.
Should have. My
They should have
gosh,
named
it
him
was
Peter.
Max.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Boy, that would have been interesting, wouldn't it?
Well, I think one of the funniest parts of one of the funniest scenes of that movie is when they invite Max in to have dinner and the Frog
yeah.
Brothers are there.
And they're doing all the tests on him to see if he's a vampire. But remember what happens. We should have picked up on this if you know anything about vampire lore. Max says, "Okay, Michael, I'm not coming into the house. You're the head of the family. I'm not coming in until you invite me." And he says, "You're invited, Max." And you don't think about it. You think he's just being polite.
Being polite, yeah.
But it's not. He needed to be invited in order to gain access.
Because they even bring that up at the end.
Yeah, never invite a vampire to your house, you silly boy.
Did you know that? Of course I did.
Of course we did.
Yeah. Go, dude. Can you imagine taking that bite of spaghetti with all that garlic
All
on
that
it?
garlic on it.
Oh.
Yeah, he thinks it's Parmesan cheese, and he's like,
It's
so
garlic. I bet you hate garlic. No, I love garlic. Just not a whole bunch
here,
of it.
wash it down. And they throw the water on it.
Yeah.
And they said it burned, right? He said, "Oh, are you nuts? It's freezing."
And then what was that thing that Nanook was doing?
That what?
Nanook kept on breathing really heavy
Yeah.
or something like
Yeah.
that.
Well,
It's like,
remember-
bad breath. He's like,
Bad breath. He said, and they all look at him, and he's like, "What?" And then what we should have known about Max. Remember, she goes over to his house to apologize for running out on him on the date when Corey Haim first sees Michael
calling,
flying
yeah.
outside, and he's screaming, "He's after me, Mom! He's after me!" So she leaves the date with Max, and she goes over the next day to apologize. She's walking down the little bridge to his house, and his dog's there.
Yeah.
And the dogs have seen her many a times.
Yeah.
And she calls the dog's name, and it starts chasing her and like it's going to attack her, tries to attack her, and she jumps.
Tears out her dress.
And why does that dog do that? Because he's protecting
Protecting
the head
Max.
vampire while he sleeps.
Yeah.
The hound, he's a hound of hell. You know, like in the novels and stuff, they have hounds of hell protecting him.
But see,
Mhm.
here's the thing. We would have not have known Max's schedule if it wasn't for a character that got totally cut out of the movie. And I'll let you explain that.
Oh, I'll let you explain it because I was a little taken back with that. Well, I noticed Diane Weiss when she's calling to ask Michael to watch Corey Haim.
This is we're only going on a
Yeah,
date.
she wanted to go on a date with Max.
Right.
There's this girl standing behind Diane Weiss, and she's looking at her, and she's almost looking into the camera. And I thought at first, I thought, man, this must be a fan or something. She's looking, watching Diane Weiss
The Oscar winner Diane
and
Weiss,
Weiss
yeah.
talking on the phone because she's almost looking, and as she
Like it was maybe a background extra.
yeah,
Like
that's what I thought. She was a background extra because there's a part where and then there's another part she's walking behind and she's looking at almost at the camera again. Well,
Yeah.
it was a character named Maria, played by Kelly Jo Mentor.
Macaulay Joe Menta. And if you guys remember her, she was in Summer School. She was in one of the Freddy's Dream Child, believe
Yeah,
it was. Great character actress
yeah,
and very beautiful. And
very beautiful.
she had a bigger role, or she had actually talking lines in the movie,
Mhm.
and they cut her out because she had become kind of like a friend to Diane Weiss's character.
Right.
And she was like, does Max ever come in? Maybe I can go and ask him out for lunch. And she's
I
like,
wonder why they cut her
she
though.
goes, Max never works here during the day.
During the day. It gave out too much information.
Maybe that's why they cut it
Yeah,
out.
because if you say he never works here during the day, then you're going to think, okay, there's something
They
jacked up.
could have maybe tell me if I'm wrong. Maybe they could have said like he's got other business stuff going on during the day.
Yeah,
That's how he
he
keeps
doesn't.
his video store open or
Yeah,
something.
he doesn't open this till around 6 or whatever. You
Yeah,
know, I come in and open
this
it
is like
for
a
him.
second job maybe to
Yeah,
him.
he owns this and he does other things. She could have said he has other business to take care of
Yeah.
or something like that. They
And
could have.
see, that's why she's looking at her from behind when she's on the phone with Jason Patrick, because she's excited that her friend's finally going to say, you know what?
Yes, I'm going to
I'm
go
going on a date
with Max.
with
Right.
Max.
And then they kind of
And she was excited
there
for
was
it
a speculation whether she was a vampire herself.
or maybe she was a vampire hunter.
Well, I don't think she'd be the vampire
Maybe
hunter.
she had another like group.
Because remember they said
They were thinking of having a Lost Girls movie.
well, they said that they were going to have her character at the end going into the cave where Kiefer Sutherland and them
Show
were.
them that picture.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that would have been interesting to have a Lost Girls with her, as one of the vampires. I was surprised they did. But back then they didn't do too many sequels.
That's true.
Not a whole lot.
Plus, if she was turned by Max, she'd be a normal person
right
at the end of the movie.
So she would her character just never really developed. I mean, as far as they just
It got cut out probably for that reason.
Yeah.
That's the only reason
maybe it was
why.
well,
Because she was in a lot of 80s movies.
here's another thing they may have done too. Maybe she's a little bit of a distraction to Jamie Gertz. They wanted to keep only the one beautiful gal,
The center
Jamie
of attention.
Gertz. Yeah, because she is
For Michael's desire.
She is a beautiful lady.
She is.
And she's very pretty. So maybe
she's
they
a good actress too.
Yeah, maybe they wanted to keep the focus of the desire for even the young audience in Jamie Gertz and not on her. And that could have been part of it.
That could have been part of it. It's
They
true.
they just wanted to keep.
Kelly Joe, if you're listening to us,
Yeah, let us know.
Let us know down in the comments. Contact us. Yeah. We'll have you on the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, she
Because I was noticing, I was like, man, who's that girl?
and she had a look like I've seen her before.
Yeah, and I'm like, man, who's that girl that's looking at? And she was looking up and almost like a fan.
It was kind of like a Saturday Night Live skit
Yeah.
of like plays extras in the background.
I had
Don't
to
look at the camera or
I
the star.
a couple of times last night when I was rewatching it because I never really noticed it before, and I'm like, and then we were watching a little bit of some of the behind the scenes stuff, and I'm like, oh, okay, because I was like, man, who's that girl? You know, I never noticed her before
Yeah.
because I was always fixated on Jamie Gertz.
If you have the Blu-ray or even the DVD or the 4K, I think they have like a whole bunch of deleted scenes. Because one of the deleted scenes that was I thought they should have kept in was there's a scene where Diane Weist's character's leaving the video store, probably to go over to Max's house, and Kiefer and the other Lost Boys like drive their bikes around her, like
Mm-hmm.
kind of to scare her.
Yeah, they were doing this like circle thing. But see, then the problem was Max shows up and runs them off.
Yeah,
And see that
the
to me,
second
the
time.
second time, I think that would have gave too much information. Like, hey, he keeps running these kids. Why are they keep leaving because of him?
I think if they would have just had that scene without the Max coming up to just have them just kind of creepy, like something's up with this guy, and they got their hands on Michael, and now they're like trying to scare the mom.
Yeah, but at the same time, if they're always leaving as soon as Max shows up, it kind of eludes that. I think it would
Yeah, it
elude
might
that
have been.
he.
It was cool looking though,
Yeah, it
man,
was a cool
and you
scene.
got worried. You were nervous watching her
Right.
in that scene.
Yeah. It was
Um,
an interesting scene.
But I think they also said they cut it out because it was creepy how Max would go up to her and say, "I know I hired you, but would you like to go out on a
Yeah,
date?"
he was
It's like, "Hello, jungle law."
yeah. Yeah, can't be doing that, man.
Yeah,
But it was the 80s, so.
it was.
Yeah.
Oh God. Uh,
Oh, shoot.
but yeah, that's it. I just remember just being excited to finally see it on VHS and being able to
Hmm.
watch it with my friends, and we just all loved it. I mean, we all went out and bought the soundtrack, and we loved the soundtrack, and
Right.
it was just a great, not just a horror movie, it's just a great movie. Now, I know the movie's rated R, but for our listeners that are looking for good horror movies for their young kids, how old would you think they would have to be to not get totally messed up watching this? Because it still stands up today.
Oh, I think they'd have to be.
13, maybe?
Well, it's a rated R. It's supposed to be 17, isn't it?
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
true.
I mean, you'd have to get
But
your.
the times of day, kids can watch
Yeah, but they used.
beheadings on their phone and
Oh, that's
stuff.
true. I mean, do they still only? They still only allow 17 and above on our movies,
Yeah,
don't
that's
they? In
true.
the theaters,
Some theaters.
I would think.
Oh,
But
hey, by the way, we forgot one important thing
what?
about Mr. Kiefer Sutherland when he was filming this movie. What was wrong with him?
Oh, he had broke his arm in a
Motorcycle accident.
motorcycle accident.
He's probably learning how to ride the
Yeah,
motorcycle for the movie.
and he
He
ended up
broke it. He broke his
he
arm.
broke his arm and he had it in a cast and he hid it from everybody, and so he always wore
Or for the camera,
for
at
the
least.
camera. He wore the
It was,
long coats
yeah,
and
they painted it black.
painted black, and they
They
never really focused on
they
his arm.
Yeah, they
Or
never did any really too many wide shots
yeah,
of,
yeah,
of Keezer,
because
which
they.
I think it makes it even better.
I mean, how he was riding those motorcycles for the scenes and stuff with a broke arm is just unbelievable.
Yeah, he had to
Yeah,
suffered a lot of pain. Good on you, Kiefer. We love you, babe.
because most actors they would have replaced him because of that.
Oh
And
gosh,
I
yeah.
think that's why he kept it quiet at first.
Well, I mean, the infamous Billy Idol was supposed to play the bad Terminator in T2, but he got into an motorcycle
Oh,
accident.
really?
Yeah,
Oh, wow. You see, he should have learned from Kiefer.
that's really
Of course, James Cameron doesn't play
that's true.
that. James Cameron, get rid of
That's
you.
true.
You're
Uh,
not running his big budget movie.
yeah. Get up
So,
and rub some dirt on
yeah,
it.
he won't be back.
Yeah.
Billy Idol won't be back.
Yeah. But yeah,
But yeah, if you get a chance to see
yeah, please.
the Lost Boys, I highly recommend it. It was
I
fun.
know we had spoilers in this, but
It was fun when I was a teenager and saw it. It's still a fun movie to
it still
watch.
stands out. I
Yeah,
mean, it's perfect for today
yeah, it's a great little.
because it captures that 80s kind of mid to late 80s kind of vibe to it,
Oh yeah,
and but not just the music, but the looks, the wardrobe.
right.
Um, and so because I think they said that they used the wardrobe lady who did St. Elmo's Fire. She took care of all the costumes in
Yeah.
this one, so
Mm-hmm.
so she knew what she was doing.
Yeah, so hats off to Joel Schumacher. He made a very good movie,
Yeah.
one that's always going to be remembered, I think.
Oh, but oh
Uh,
my gosh, yeah.
he went on to do other things, some of the
The
couple of
Batman,
Batman
yeah,
movies
and the
and but I think
Flatliners,
Flatliners, St.
yeah,
Elmo's Fire.
Fire.
But I think this one, I think most people will think of him
Oh, that's his
is
best.
is one of the best
Yeah,
that he
and
did.
he's not afraid to say that.
Yeah, I mean, and I think he would be honored for people to remember him for
Yeah,
directing this.
I mean, he gets a little flack for the Batman movies he directed,
Yeah,
but
but hard to follow Tim Burton and at
yeah,
the time. I mean, the scripts were,
he wanted to make more of the campy TV
right.
Batman, but we'll save that for
Yeah,
when we get on that.
absolutely. But, this
But
was a great
yeah,
movie.
and it gets you in the Halloween. Even if you've seen it before, it gets you in the Halloween mood. It
Yeah,
gets you mood for the fall
if
weather,
you like the vampire genre in movies,
and it's
and it's
great soundtrack throughout the
not just a
movie.
vampire movie, but it's a fun little
It really
movie.
and it does show about how important friends and family are. I mean,
Yeah, it talks about divorce
yeah,
and kids adjusting to a new home and all that good stuff. And then when you put that on top of
yeah.
teenage moods and
Finding out
emotions.
who you are and where you want to go in life, and
Yeah. So
um,
it's just a really good little flick.
yeah, really is.
So
Definitely show it to your kids or your grandkids who aren't too young.
yeah, and if you have any questions or comments about the Lost Boys, you can get a hold of us at spitballcinema
Yeah,
at gmail.com.
there was
And
a
please like and subscribe
subscribe
to the
to
channel
yeah,
if you would. It helps us out.
it really does.
And
And
if you want to leave a comment and talk about it, we'd be
well,
more.
there's sequels to it which we won't go into, but
Yeah, I've never watched them.
uh,
I heard they were kind of rough.
they're terrible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I heard the lower. And I understand they're trying to make money,
Yeah, I mean,
but you know what? If you're going to do it, why not do a good one?
I yes.
Why do these little? They just try to. They're trying to, just make more money off of the name
Well,
of it.
at that time, Warner Brothers had a company, an offshoot called Warner Premiere, and that was movies that were straight to DVD.
Right.
And I believe they did it with the three sequels or two sequels. I think it's three sequels. And then they also did like the sequel to House on Haunted Hill. So they were
Hmm.
trying to push out Warner Premiere. I kind of like Dimension was the as the horror sci-fi branch of Miramax and stuff like
Right.
that. So they it just didn't
Just didn't work.
it didn't work. They were terrible.
And Jamie Gertz, if you hear this, please send me a message at
Would you stop it?
Scott at Spitball
She's
Uh,
like worth $8 billion.
Well, just let me know that you're thinking of me. All right. All right, folks. I think that's going to do it for today for the Lost
Lost
Boys.
Boys, baby. Woo!
So I'm Scott.
I'm David.
Thank you, folks, very much for listening.
Yeah, love
Appreciate
you
it.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.
You'll never grow old, Michael. And you'll never die.
Be one of us. Drink some of this, Michael.
Don't. It's blood.
Michael, 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 Michael.